Hey, welcome to the video that, like, 2 people asked for, probably. What you're about to see is a tips and tricks video with far too much effort put into it on this now nerfed modifier indoors, Make Haste. Oh my god, please! Dude, is this it? Is this it? It's freaking it! It's it! It's... Ah! Yes, if you're wondering, that's me screaming. This is before this modifier was heavily nerfed and when it was nearly impossible to beat, hence my ridiculous reaction. Moving on, I want to give credit where credit's due. This video and its script was co-written by my very good friend, the man, the myth, the dude, GDUDE. You guys might know him from, like, literally all of my Doors videos, and he wanted to help me write the script, so give him a big round of applause for doing so, as this video would have been, like, 3 times as worse without his help. I should mention before this video starts, there's strategies in this video that will involve a friend to help you win. If you don't have any, then I'm sorry. My suggestion is to just try to do as much as I say in this video without going over the top. Without any further ado though, let's begin. Alright, so the first thing you want to do as soon as you load into the elevator is buy lockpicks from the shop. This is because there's a pretty high chance you'll encounter 2 to 3 locked rooms at the very minimum, and these can be pretty big time kills since the key can be really difficult to find. Both you and your friend should buy lockpicks should you encounter more than a few locked rooms. Also, don't be broke and at least have 250 doorknobs. Thanks! If you do end up running out of lockpicks, have your friend drop their lockpicks for you so you can have more. Also, ring this bell for good luck. Now before the run begins, make sure that your friend is ready along with you. The timer doesn't start until you exit door 0 and enter door 1. Alright, now the run has officially begun. Now that we've started, I'm going to do a quick lightning round of things that you don't want to happen for luck to be on your side. Alright. Don't get Sally. Don't get ambush. Don't get hit by void. Don't get any locked rooms. And finally, don't get these long-ass hallways. Those are jokes, by the way. Mostly, these are just things that are really annoying to deal with within your Make Haste runs, as these were the reasons for the end of too many of our pre-nerf runs. But let's continue. This next tip is one you can use anywhere within your run, so I highly recommend using this as much as possible. First, I want you to watch this next clip closely. I won't be talking over it, but see if you can notice something within the video. Did you catch it? Well, I'm about to reveal my strategy regardless. Cut corners. Notice how whenever I enter a new room, I immediately make a beeline for what I need to go to next, and stay as straight on that line as possible. Or if it's a room with turns, then I hug the wall that will lead me to the next room as quickly as possible. This will save you a good amount of time as opposed to just normally walking around, since you may move a little bit and it can take some time off. Now this next tip is quite possibly the most important tip I'll give in this video. Except I'm not actually going to give you this tip, as GDUDE will be giving you this tip instead of me.
Thanks, Bodhi. Now let's continue. As you was saying, pay very close attention to what I am about to say. Not you, Bodhi, go away. So this next strat is one we like to call the Sweeper Strat, and I got the idea from John Flanagan's Rangers print.
Alright, so this nerd basically got the idea from this strat for some book series, which I could care less about since I can't read. But shout out to the series, whatever he said it was regardless. Back to him now, though. Alright, let me fast forward through this yapping real quick. Give me a minute here. And stop. Alright.
How you start this strat is you first have to get out your vacuum cleaner and plug it into the wall.
Wrong sweeper!
Sorry about that, I forgot what it was. The Sweeper Strat involves your friend, which in this case would be me since Bodhi is the runner. Fun fact, I made him change this part of the script since it originally said that Bodhi was the main character. :D. For clarification.
You can do that if you want. Oh my god.
For clarification purposes and for the rest of the explanation of the Sweeper Strat, the Sweeper will be referred to as, well, the Sweeper. And the person going ahead and getting through the rooms will be called the runner. There's a high chance that the levers can spawn within these side rooms, and under normal circumstances, they are very easy to miss. As the sweeper, be sure to search these side rooms as quickly as possible, as Void can attack and teleport you back up to the runner if you let the runner go ahead too far. To prevent this, keep track of what room you, the sweeper, are on, and have the runner update you on their current room number as well. The runner shouldn't go ahead for more than 5 to 6 doors, as that's the limit for Void to attack the player. The runner should also check in on you every minute or so to make sure they aren't going too far from you. Void can deal anywhere between 20 and 40 HP worth of damage when attacking, so make sure you have a decent amount of health if you suspect Void may attack you soon. However, Void isn't the only entity that can be lethal to the Sweeper. The runner needs to constantly watch out for when the lights flicker, and if they do, warn the Sweeper as soon as possible, as they will encounter rush very quickly after it spawns. Another bonus tip: if you are trying to avoid rush and can't find a closet, then you can just wait for it to pass in a basement and then head back up. One more thing about the Sweeper, and then we can finally move on to the next tip. You, as the Sweeper, should collect as much money as possible, at least 500 coins to be exact, in order to be able to purchase the crucifix from Jeff's shop. The runner should also collect at least 100 coins just in case they may need to buy vitamins and or an extra lockpick. Finally, I'm done reading this stupidly long paragraph. Next up, I want to go over the vitamins a bit. Now, you can probably already see why these would be useful within this modifier, but regardless, let's continue. You can use these literally anywhere within your run to save time, but the most prominent of these uses
has to be outrunning haste.
If you end up running out of time and are unable to find a switch before the timer hits 0, then pop the vitamins right when the music stops, and just before everything turns red. Then go ahead as far as you can within the short time frame you have before haste kills you, and look around closely. Levers may be hard to spot at times, so try to instead look for the numbers showing your time basement. Who wrote this script?
This next tip is regarding the basements. This one isn't so much a tip, just what to do when you and your friend get here. Firstly, there's a fixed 30-second switch directly to the right of the entrance of every basement room. Second, there's usually a side room that spawns across the hall from the basement's entrance, and sometimes these can have levers, just like normal side rooms. Now this next part is optional, but we did this during our Make Haste runs to be more efficient. For basement rooms, the Sweeper and Runner swap roles. The Sweeper will wait next to the gate, and then the Runner will go into the basement and find the lever themselves instead of the Sweeper. Then, once the lever is found, the Sweeper can run ahead in order to get through more doors, and the Runner can catch up and get back ahead. I should warn you, however, as there's a possibility that Void can hit the Runner in the basement if the Sweeper goes ahead too far, so try to get out of the basement and back up to where the Sweeper is as fast as possible to avoid the Void. Tip number 7.
That is not correct.
Oh wait, this is number 6, I'm dyslexic. Tip number 6. For both seek chases, there is now a fixed lever before the start of each of them. It's directly to the right of the wall of the entrance, so be sure to look carefully for those. There's also one a little further down the hallway, so be sure to grab that as well. Ideally, you want to have at least a minute and a half before entering either of the seek chases. You can also use the vitamins here if you're running out of time. Alright, hold on y'all, let me just get this Pepsi break real quick. Yeah, you hear that? That sounds nice, doesn't it? Tip number 7. For real this time. We're jumping from one boss to another here. Door 50. Before we enter the library, look around door 49 for levers. There's a fixed one directly to the right of the entrance of door 49. One more thing before we enter. Grab this alarm clock. It'll be important for your future encounter with the figure, if you make it far enough. It's alright if you miss it though, as there should be at least one more extra in the library. Alright, door 50. You ideally want to make it out of here in under 2 minutes, so pick up the pace, as if you haven't been doing that already. As soon as the intro cutscene is over, have someone check the left side of the library and have someone else check the right. There's 2 bookshelves directly to the left and right of the entrance of door 50, and books can spawn here. We would know, as we've missed books here before, and it ended up killing our run since we needed to go back. There are 7 fixed levers in the library that you need to switch on in order to gain an extra 3 minutes and 30 seconds worth of time. Does that sound nice? Well, follow our directions. I'll guide you through the left side of the library, and GDUDE will guide you through the right. First off, there's a lever almost directly down the passage between these bookshelves, right here. After this, there are 2 levers near the desk. One of them is on the front side of the desk, and the other is on the wall behind it. Simple enough, right? Now on to GDUDE.
For the right side, there's one similar to the left at the end of the corridor. Directly next to this first lever is the second one, onto the side of this bookshelf. There's 2 more after this. The first one is directly to the right of this staircase, and the last one is directly to the left of the exit door to the library. Once you've done all that, continue the library as normal. Enter the code, and congrats! You passed the library.
After this, be sure to collect any last coins before entering Jeff's shop if necessary. Then, purchase the crucifix and have the Sweeper hold on to it. Do not purchase the skeleton key for reasons I'll talk about later. Next up, doors 60 to 61. These 2 doors are massive time kills. I think you can probably see why. Before I continue though, I heavily recommend having a light source as the runner, as you will need it in a little bit. First off, have the sweeper go into the corridor where you would normally enter the rooms. There's a fixed 30-second switch there. Then have the runner go ahead, get the switch directly to the right of the door, and then navigate door 61's massive basement for the lever as quickly as possible. This is where the light source comes in. I mention this because my poor soul has had to navigate this basement without a light source many times before. Anyways, once the sweepers switch the lever on in the entrance to the rooms, then just have them wait by the gate. As soon as the lever is found and is switched on in the basement, the sweeper should cover as much ground as possible and move ahead to save time. The runner should also try to find their way out of the basement, although there's a high chance you may get attacked by Void if you're unable to find your way out before the sweeper gets ahead too far. As mentioned previously, Void can deal up to 40 HP, so make sure you're above, well, 40 HP, and be sure to have a beer on you to heal after Void's attack. Yes, I know it's not beer, I literally could care less. No one is calling this a smoothie.
This next one is pretty simple. Remember earlier when Bodhi said not to get the skeleton key? Well, this is where that comes in. Now, both of us have nothing against the skeleton key and its room associated with it. In fact, we like it a lot in normal runs. But if you have a massive red skeleton waiting to eat you as time ticks away, then you don't really want to go back there a lot. Instead, have the sweeper go back and search through the side rooms next to the skeleton key room. Not the skeleton key room itself. There's a chance there can be 1 to 2 switches back here, so definitely try and sweep this as the sweeper. Try and sweep these rooms as quickly as possible if you and the runner haven't encountered Halt yet. This is because if Halt begins attacking, then you will immediately be teleported to Halt's hallway, even if you haven't finished sweeping yet.
Alright, congrats on making it this far. Now it's time to tackle the hardest part of your entire run, the greenhouse. First things first, door 88 is guaranteed to be one of these thin hallways. The sweeper, as per usual, should look within all of the side rooms for switches while the runner moves on ahead. There should be at least one switch within one of the side rooms. In the courtyard, there's a fixed 30-second switch to the right on the railing here. Now you may be thinking, shouldn't I go and get the 2 fixed 30-second switches in the basement? No! GDUDE and I have tested this in a real run, and it takes so long to get to the basement that you only end up saving around 5 seconds worth of time, which is basically nothing, and... Okay, just trust me and don't do this, even if it's for 5 seconds worth of time. One more thing. Before the runner and sweeper enter the greenhouse, for both of you, I recommend turning your graphics quality down to 1, or the minimum, for slightly increased visibility. With all that being said, let's enter the greenhouse. First thing to note, stay on high alert. Rush usually comes every 2 to 3 doors, although I'm not sure if this is always the case. Second, watch out for Snare. Snare can be a time kill if you run into it, so watch out when walking on the stone path. Third, hug closets. This is probably the most important tip we have regarding the greenhouse. Instead of walking on the concrete path, move ahead through the greenhouse within a close range of closets in order to avoid surprise rush attacks. This also eliminates having to wait by a closet for rush to come. Fourth, there's a small chance that levers can spawn in the greenhouse now next to the entrance to certain doors, so be sure to have the sweeper just quickly check around every door's front and back entrance just in case. Fifth, and you may already know this, dupe spawns pretty frequently within the greenhouse, although it's very easy to avoid. Be on the lookout for doors with visibility into the next room. If the door just has a black void behind it, then it's a dupe door. One more thing. You should have saved the crucifix up until this point of the run. If you don't have it, then that's okay. This is just a last resort in case you run out of time within these doors. If you do run out of time, here's what to do. First, stay by a closet and do not move in case of rush. Second, listen as closely as possible. Rush becomes extremely difficult to detect due to haste drowning out any other normal sounds. Be on the lookout for haste and be ready to crucify it. And for the love of God, don't be my idiot friend and accidentally crucify Screech instead of haste. Or any other entity besides haste for that matter. As soon as you crucify haste, get in the closet immediately. We've had cases where rush just comes and kills us immediately after haste has been dealt with. This is just a failsafe should rush actually come right after haste has been crucified. Wait around 5 seconds, then continue the greenhouse as normal. Now here comes another practical use for the vitamins. Once both of you, the runner and sweeper, get to door 98, book it and pop the vitamins to get into door 100 safely and avoid rush.
As we run through these rooms, to help you out, I will play some calming music to ease the nerves.
Get out of here, you metalhead. I'm a big metalhead myself, but that's besides the point. Where I come from, this is what real calming music sounds like.
It's not metal enough.
Shut up, I'm not arguing with you right now. Congratulations! You're now at the final part of the whole run, door 100. If you're like me, the first time I beat the modifier, you're likely very nervous and also very short on time, so get to the first lever of door 100 as quickly as possible and hit it. Then, move on to this big door thingy. I don't know what these are called. If you have lockpicks, you can use them to open the door to the breaker room in advance, although this isn't really necessary. Now this is where the alarm clock you grabbed in the library finally comes into play. Whoever has the alarm clock should activate it, then as soon as the animation of your arm swinging downward begins to play, flick the lever. This will activate figure, and then the alarm clock will trigger figure, and we love doing that here. Next, there are 8 fixed switches within door 100, one in each room. I won't provide you with the visual aid for the locations of the levers in the lower level, since most of them are in identical rooms, but before we continue, look around a little bit to make sure you've gotten all of the levers on the lower level. Now, I'll show you the locations of the levers on the higher level of door 100, so let's get to it. First, there's one in the breaker room, but you don't need to actually get this one until you have to do the breaker box challenge. After this, there's one behind the wall next to the staircase here, and then there's one right next to the elevator and the breaker room key, up here. Once you've gotten all of those, get to the breaker room, activate the breaker box, watch figure jump out the window like a maniac, and lock in. As a failsafe, you can share your screen to your friend to help you with the breaker box, just in case you miss any numbers. This is obvious, but try to do this as quickly as possible without missing anything to escape under the time limit. After this, skedaddle up to the elevator, and you win!
We hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. You probably did, otherwise you wouldn't have clicked on this video to begin with.
Well, this concludes the tips and tricks video with far too much effort put into it. Alright, that's all for now. See you guys in the next video.
As the sweeper, be sure to search these side rooms as... What is going on? I'm having a speech impediment. Finally, I'm done reading this stupidly long paragraph.
Stupidly. Or whatever. I don't know.
Yourself. Yeah! You can use these you
What was that?
The second use I want to go...
Sorry. I got something stuck that time.
The second use I want to go over, and you might already be familiar with this. Halt. Halt.
Almost made me choke, bro. I'm trying to swallow water.
The second use I want to go... Wait, I lost my page. Lesank. Stupid.
Okay, I can't. When I say it like that. Alright, I will shut up. Actually. Don't look at me like that, bro.
Firstly, hold on, is firstly even a word? Can we get some clarification on this?
Dictionary. Yes, it is.
It doesn't sound like a word.
I promise you 110%. Look it up in the dictionary.
It doesn't sound like a word. Not the skeleton. What?
Skeleton.
Great job, all you noobs that actually spent.
Oh my god.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Is the chair okay more important?
Hey!
Hey, what are you doing here?
Wait. How do I get the...
What are you doing here?
That's like the Spider-Man meme. 3, 2, 1. I think I got it.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good.